Ice roads, some of the most treacherous routes on Earth, cut across frozen lakes, rivers, and tundras, where a single mistake can lead to disaster. These unpredictable paths challenge even the most seasoned drivers. Here are the most terrifying ice roads in the world. The E69. The E69, renowned as the longest road in the world linked to major international highway networks, stands as the pinnacle of the European road system. Stretching between Oldefjord and the North Cape in northern Norway, it remains open throughout the year. However, during winter, intense winds and heavy snowfall often make the northern section inaccessible for single-car travel. Instead, this remote stretch can only be navigated in a large multi-vehicle convoy. The Kahala Highway. At first glance, the Kahala Highway appears ordinary. Situated in British Columbia, a western province of Canada, it is a well-maintained, multi-lane asphalt road linking the town of Hope to the city of Kamloops. During spring and summer, traveling along it poses little challenge. However, in the colder months, it becomes one of Canada's most perilous highways, with approximately 400 to 500 accidents each winter. The primary reason is its mountainous terrain, which brings steep inclines, low visibility, and frequent avalanches, making driving exceptionally hazardous. Los Caracoles Pass. If you're searching for one of the most thrilling border crossings in the world, Kahala Pass stands out. Also known as Snail's Pass, this route winds through a remote section of the Andes Mountains, linking Chile and Argentina at an elevation of approximately 3.2 kilometers. With its sharp hairpin turns and complete absence of safety barriers, it poses a significant challenge even in ideal conditions. Due to heavy ice and snow accumulation, the pass is typically closed during the winter months. Tibet to Convoy at winter. For a winter road unlike any other, explore the route from Tibet to Kontam. Situated in Canada's far north, this seasonal ice road was first constructed in 1982 to support mining and exploration operations. Depending on the time of year, it spans between 400 and 600 kilometers, making it the longest heavy-haul ice road in the world. Open for only 8 to 10 weeks annually, it primarily accommodates large trucks. Remarkably, 85 to 87% of the route is built atop frozen lakes. The extreme conditions require trucks to travel in convoys of at least 4, and despite its remote location, strict speed limits are enforced. State Road D915. Between the food, history, and surprisingly affordable hair replacements, don't ask how I know, Turkey has become a major tourist hotspot. But if you're looking for something off the beaten path, check out State Road D915. Built in 1916 during World War I, this road was originally constructed by locals under Russian orders to aid their offensive into Turkey's interior. The result? A grueling 106 kilometers stretch of gravel road made entirely by hand. Over time, it expanded to 179 kilometers, but one section remains especially treacherous, a 5 kilometers stretch between OL and Babert. Carved into the steep slopes of Sali Mountain, this narrow, gravel path barely fits 1.5 cars and twists through 29 sharp hairpin turns. One mistake here, and you're off the edge. Due to icy conditions, landslides, and avalanches, the road is closed for 6 months in winter, but that hasn't prevented tragedy. In 2019, a journalist covering road construction was caught in an avalanche and swept down the mountain. A massive 14-day rescue effort followed, but his body was ultimately found 1 kilometer from the accident site. The Dempster Highway. Head up north in Canada, and you'll find the scenic Dempster Highway. Stretching from Yukon's Klondike Highway to Inuvik in the Northwest Territories, this route has deep historical roots. Originally a dog sled trail from Dawson City to Fort McPherson, it was named after William Dempster of the Northwest Mounted Police. During the early 1900s gold rush, police patrolled it to maintain order and protect prospectors. As gold fever faded, the route saw less use, until 1958, when surveys began. A year later, oil was discovered, prompting the government to grant concessions to encourage exploration. The need for a transport route grew, but funding disputes delayed construction. Work resumed in 1970 as Canada aimed to solidify its Arctic sovereignty, and by 1979, the highway was complete. Building it wasn't easy. Engineers had to prevent permafrost from melting, so they placed the road atop a gravel bed for insulation. Today, while the highway is solid, it's a tough drive. Loose gravel can crack windshields, and bad weather often slows traffic. Winter conditions make it downright treacherous, ensuring that travel on the Dempster Highway is anything but smooth. The 52 Tunnel Road. Many ice roads on this list are still terrifying to drive today, but with good hiking shoes, the 52 Tunnel Road isn't too bad. It's here because, about 110 years ago, it was one of the worst places to be during World War I. While most battles raged in French and Belgian trenches, high in the Dolomites, Italians and Austrians fought in brutal mountain terrain. Though Austria eventually broke through, the 52 Tunnel Road was key in Italy's defense. This 6.12 kilometers donkey path took 600 workers just 10 months to build, finishing in November 1917. It helped transport troops to rocky outposts along the front. Unlike most World War I battlefields, soldiers here lived like moles, burrowing into mountain caves. They endured freezing, treacherous conditions while using long-range guns to strike enemy positions. The tunnels, wide enough for 2 mules, cut deep into the rock face. Of them, the 19th is the most remarkable. It's the longest at 320 meters and features a helical design with 4 sharp bends inside a towering rock formation. Though Austrian artillery couldn't reach it for most of the war, travel across the 52 Tunnel Road was still perilous. With slopes of 12 to 22%, it was a tough journey year-round. Winter made it even worse. Freezing temperatures and icy paths made survival nearly impossible. Because of this, biking is prohibited in winter, and the road is only accessible in warmer months. The Sichuan-Tibet Highway. For years, tensions between China and Tibet have remained high, with China repeatedly claiming Tibet as its own. While this dispute has kept relations icy, no pun intended, one treacherous road still links them, the Sichuan-Tibet Highway. Starting in Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan province, this highway stretches nearly 2,200 kilometers to Tibet's capital, Lhasa. It consists of 2 routes, northern and southern. The southern route, though more direct, is also the most dangerous. Known for its steep switchbacks, hairpin turns, and breathtaking views, it climbs from 500 m in Chengdu to over 4,200 m at Mount Zhiduan Pass. This drastic altitude change makes altitude sickness almost inevitable, a serious risk on an already perilous road. Adding to the danger, landslides, avalanches, and mudslides can strike without warning, often blocking sections of the route. The northern route, though slightly longer at 2,300 kilometers, is safer. While it still reaches altitudes above 4,000 m and faces icy conditions, it's mostly paved and sees less traffic, making for a smoother ride. Despite its beauty, this highway has a grim history. More than 1,000 workers died building it between 1950 and 1954, and even today, it continues to claim lives. Unless you're an experienced driver, tackling this route without a guide might not be the best idea.